He looks forward for Sunday, enjoys the evening అంట. మరి రాలేదు, వచ్చేస్తానన్నాడు ఫిజియోథెరపీకి.
రానన్నాడు.
రానని చెప్పాడు. వాట్సాప్ చెక్ చేయి. ఎంజాయ్స్ సండే ఈవినింగ్ చెప్పాడు నాకు.
Okay, who is moderating? Prasanna, you're moderating, right? Huh? Kiran. Can you moderate, Kiran?
Yes, sir. I can moderate.
All right. I'm going to share my screen.
Jai Baba.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Not yet.
I can see. I can see, Prasad.
Yeah.
Panic attack, fear. Clear ga.
So Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. So today I'm going to talk about fear. We all know what is fear. We all have number of experiences of fear. Some are small, some are big. Our mind has got 3 parts. The first part, one of the parts is feelings. This fear comes under the feelings. And mind also thinks, and it has got a major part that is called intellect, buddhi. So that is what we have. So first lesson we need to know is experience of fear. If I take all the credit of this talk, it is not right. So Chanti is the one who started and gave 2 weeks ago a wonderful talk on fear and worry. And he gave a very good talk that led to very interesting discussion. And during that time, I was experiencing this COVID, and I used to get into some thought into my mind, and I was going on thinking about the same thing. I don't know why that was happening. I don't know, disease or whatever. One day I was looking at some wedding of Chiranjeevi's whatever. Whole night I was thinking about, dreaming about that thing. And next day we had this talk, and I was going on thinking about fear. I thought I should make up some slides. So I was doing nothing except taking rest. I thought I should create some slides, and it came to a format that I thought I should present it. It scared me actually when I thought about it. Who is this hero? Is hero here or not? Chuchunda? Raleda? Ramman cheppan raled kadadu. Useless fellow. All right. So he gave a couple of comments, and that really told the whole gist of the fear. Do you remember right? Number 1, everyone has fears, and to different degrees. Getting exposed to it, facing them, then hiding will help overcome fears to a large extent. Prayer, meditation, sorry. Faith, etc. will help overcome faster and better. See, he told the whole gist of the whole my talk. I thought that was very beautiful. I should also give credit to Jeevan also in this talk. So somebody saying something, or mute, please mute if you're not. Mute. Thank you. Bye, mute chese bye. Mute chase. All right. So I would, you're fine. So let's say whenever we come across some of us Baba lovers, we go and hang on to Baba. We can say Baba, Baba, Baba. Now I'm going to leave a question for you. We will, at the end, we will have a discussion. Does Baba help when we go through fearful situation, or he does not help? I'm not going to give my opinion, but we will have a discussion on this. How does he help, if he helps, or when does he not help? What happens during the panic attack? It all happens in our mind. Remember this, fear happens in the individual mind. It's a feeling, as I said before. Nothing is happening in the world. Nothing is happening in the world. If I'm afraid, that is only my fear. The people who are around me, they don't have fear for that. Example ga last time Praveen చెప్పాడు, వన్ టౌన్ వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు చిన్నప్పుడు చావు డప్పులు వినపడితే భయపడిపోయాడు. అదే సగంతులకి ప్రభాకర్ మాయకి వాళ్ళకి అదొక ఎవ్రీడే జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి నథింగ్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఫర్ దెమ్. సో ఇట్స్ ఆల్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, Praveen, it was only happening in Praveen's mind. So we have to recognize that. What happens, some incidences causes it to erupt it, that fears will be there in our system. Some incidences will erupt it and we are under its influence. Our normal mind stops functioning. We are not normal anymore. We get that surge of fear. You are agitated. Anxiety sets in. Mind goes on thinking erratically. You react to the thinking and body shows different symptoms. You get sweat, shaking, trembling. It can be a small fear experience or it can be a big fearful experience. For sure, nobody has a pleasant experience. If somebody is going through a fearful experience, certainly it is not a pleasant experience. People hate it. No one wants to have it. It creates a weakness in the mind. It causes unhappiness to yourself. And if you influence the people around you, they also become unhappy. It can become a big problem. If you neglect small fears, it can become a big problem than we can ever imagine. Anxiety sets in. Anxiety leads to stroke and a heart attack. What physiological changes happen during the fear? This is something our physicians can throw some light, but I leave it at the end. What happens when you are going through a fearful experience? What happens to the liver? What happens to the eyes? What happens to your heart? All these things. If we do not take care of this problem when it is in bud state, it can become a monster. If you let it go, it will go deep into the roots of the mental depths. Once it sets in, to eradicate it, it needs lot of effort and energy and strength. Many of us, sometimes we go through this, I'm having fear, but I do not know why. What is the reason why I'm afraid now? We have this experience too. Most of the times something happens and then that causes fear. But sometimes we're just afraid. Oh my God, something bad is going to happen. Something like that. This is one of the reasons why because we encouraged this, not encouraged, we tuned with the fear in the past that sets into our deep in our mind, and that causes his unnecessary feelings. One may be very good doctor, but he's not a good patient. We all know that. Emotions dominate our judgment. A lot of times we do not know how to deal with our problems. All of us have fear. We know we have fear. We observe it. We know it's causing a lot of problems, but we do not know how to deal with that. But if we learn, we can make it inactive. Fear will be there in the mind. We can never get rid of it. If somebody says, oh, I don't have a fear, ఈ సినిమాలో చెప్తారు ఈ బాలకృష్ణ అటుంటాడు నాకు భయం లేదంటాడు. That's all cockamamie stories. Fear will be there. Only thing is, we have to make sure it is not active. I think last week I was telling, when Geeta was talking about talk, I was telling this issue. Is it impossible to deal with this? I was telling this example. India fought with Kashmir issue with the Pakistan in 70s, and India was supplied by Russia, all the planes and everything. And USA supported Pakistan. They gave very advanced warfare, and they utterly failed. They did not know how to use it. They lost the war. See, if we do not know the tools what we have, what good they are. Who doesn't know this personality? Maya, Bagi probably do not know, and Bhargavi probably do not know. This is my older brother, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, EVRK Paramahamsa. V stands for, as Chanti said, Vakula, not Venkata.
Yeah.
We always used to think.
Nanama's name. Nanama's name.
Oh, Nanama's name. I see. Last time.
Okulabaranam.
Vakalabaranam. Yeah.
Venkateswara Swami's mother's name.
Yeah. When we had Prabhakar Mai's 75th birthday and Prasanna's 50th birthday, Pawan did a great job in that quiz program, right? He asked this question, nobody knew. That is when we realized. He was born in June 15th, 1938, and he died on Baba's birthday, February 25th, 1990. He was just 52-year-old. Why am I bringing Padanana or Padamai? He had a phone call. He had a lawsuit with the state of Tamil Nadu. He did work, and the prices went up, and they refused to pay. He went to court, and the court went on for a long period of time, and a lot of his money got stuck in that deal. He got a phone call. His lawyer conveyed him. He lost the lawsuit. That gave him a big jolt, and that caused a heart attack. And he died instantly. See, in our own family, this fear, this panic attack caused a death. This reminded me when I was thinking, oh my God, this is something needs to be taken. So how do we deal with my fears? That is the question, right? Is it impossible to deal with it? We have all the tools, but we need to know how to use them appropriately for our problem solving, as well as for our growth. If we are stuck, there are a lot of people who have fear and they don't proceed at all. Everything they are afraid. Subhadra Penny, for example, they have a lot of fears. Whenever I visited them in Tirupati, Whatever they want to do, my pinny, Subhadra pinny used to say, Ammo, Adi, Ammo, Idi, Ammo. Annitiki, she used to come across some sort of a thing. Don't do it, don't do it. And their lives, that's not the only thing, but that plays a major role. It will not help us to progress. For our progress, we need to identify the progress comes automatically. We don't need to work for the progress. If we can identify those things that are obstructing our path and clear them, that itself will make us smoothly walk to the to our higher levels. How many ways can fear manifest? Every one of us have fears. Am I going to have my job or not? I've gone through this when I was young. Will I pass my examination and all? Every one of us have gone through this. Will I meet my yearly goals or not? Will I get the contract again? Another example. I have to give a speech. Will I give it okay or not? The last time Pawan was raising, number one fear in the whole world is speech, giving a speech on the stage. Number one fear. Death is only two. Third is snakes or something. Giving a speech, number one fear. Another example we were discussing last time. My family wants to have a puppy. I have to go and buy it and bring it home. That was an issue. Naveen was mentioning it. And that caused a lot of pressure for Naveen. I'm afraid of darkness. I'm afraid of water. Or some people say, I'm afraid of heights. I hate these big giant wheels. And when you're not enjoying, what is the point in going and going to the fair and getting into the Ferris wheel? So I hated it and I avoided it. Let's take, for example, I'll take one example. Driving family and to bring a new puppy. How many in our family did it? Bagi did it, Praveen did it, Sidhu did it, and Naveen did it. But every one of them have different experiences. All of them did the same action, but had different reaction and effect. What? Indeed? All of them did the same action, but had a different experience. Every one of us have different kind of fears in our life. So I thought, just to show, just for entertainment, Tiku came. Sorry. Where am I? Video kanpistunda? This is the first day Bagi brought the tikka. It is a baby, 6 weeks old baby. And then within no time started running. Came to our flags. Going and licking everybody. She's a perfect Eraburo dog. If anybody comes, she won't bark. She will go and try to. Very, very interesting, enjoyable dog. So that was the experience of Bagi. It was a pleasant experience. For somebody else, it can be a a painful experience. Same instant affects differently. So basically our goal is we need to get freedom from fear. So we have to identify the problem for the fear. See, what are the things when the fear is happening? Yes, fear dawns in feelings, but our mind also starts thinking, imaginations. Oh my God, the dog is come. What if the dog dies? Oh my God, I'm going to appear for the exam. What if I fail? All these things happens, right? That is what causes to escalate our fear in our mind. Another thing is, commonality is, we don't live in the present. We think about the future, what will happen. And it is a desire, oh, something is happening not according to what I think. I want it this way, but this might happen. That causes overthinking. We use our overthinking for all the way. If we have to do something, we have to look at all the options, but we extend this overthinking for other things also. What might happen in the future? So we do overthinking. We think more than what we need to think. And we are afraid of unknown things. What will happen? Is my thinking sequential or non-sequential? We don't do a logical thinking. We jump from one thought to the other thought. Oh my God, the dog is here. What if it dies? See, that is a jumping of the thought. What do we do? I mean, Sidhu had gone through that experience also, and everything happened according to certain way. He dealt with that, and that's about it. And we know it's not positive thinking. It's always negative thinking. Do we ever try to understand what is going on with my particular fear? We don't pay attention to that understanding. This plays a major role in dealing with that thing. Okay? Sorry. So anything you do, you create a cause, and there is a subsequent effect to that. For example, driving puppy home. That is the cause, and our thinking causes what will be the effect of it. So fear is a product of how you are thinking. So it is your own creation. Fear is our own creation. And who else deals with this? We have to deal with that. We always think about the future, past, present, and the future. We're always living in the present. Your body is present here now, but your mind, either it goes in the past or in the future. You're always in the present, never in the past. Even if you are thinking about the past that happened, you are bringing those thoughts in the present and thinking about it. Past is already happened. Future, we can only set goals about the future. What will happen in the future, nobody knows. We can predict to some extent. We can have some hope, okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to start to work. I will reach work. I will do the work today and come home. That is the thing. Anything can happen. How the day is going to be, how it's going to be, we don't know. So we cannot predict the future. You only set goals. Whatever the challenges we have now, that's what we can deal. If something happened in the past, those also we can deal. So remember that we always need to live in the present. During the fear, what happens? We live in the future. That's not right. Overthinking. This is one of the main problem. We do overthinking, not to the point of how much thinking we need. We don't stop there. We go on extending the thinking. That is the biggest problem. And what we do by thinking, overthinking, we create sanskaras and create garbage. That makes us not efficient. Need to have a controlled thinking. We are not going to get this controlled thinking overnight. It is a practice. It's a sadhana we have to do. A non-sequential thinking is also a problem. Try to think logically. Is my thinking applies a logic? Is it practical? Or do I jump and come to conclusions? That's garbage again. Think only so much as we need. A lot of unnecessary things need to be eliminated. This garbage thinking is the cause of all our problems. Not only fear, but all the other things also. Are we positive thinking? Are we negative thinking? Fear means mostly it's a negative thinking. So we need to change our mode. Nothing wrong to have negative thinking. That's the reality. We need to change it to the positive thinking. What to do? Be stable. Try not to be reactive. That's the first thing we have to do is not to react. Be a sthita prajna. Develop courage. Always face the situation. Face it number of times, same thing. You'll get used to it. Yeah, Praveen was listening to Dappulu Ventanadu. He was getting scared of the death procession, and suppose he lived there for a number of times and told himself, I'm not going to be afraid of this. I heard this before. That fear will dissipate. See, understanding is very, very important. Why am I afraid of this particular thing? Why am I afraid of my examination? I have to write this exam. Am I going to pass or not? Maybe I'll fail. But before the exam, I can do something. Let me finish all the portions, whatever I need to be prepared. Let me take some extra energy, extra hard work to prepare well for every portion that I might get a questions in. If you do that, what is there to be afraid of? It might take a while, but you will get there. But for sure, you will succeed. Understanding drives the ignorance away. Fear is the product of ignorance. We have to drive it away. Deal with fearful situations more. Never, never escape. If you escape, what are you doing? You're only postponing the problem. The problem will never be solved. Deal with it now. Face the same situation number of times and you'll get used to it. By repetitive tackling, you will develop courage. You'll get used to it. All right, I want it to be like this. I want this result. This is the wrong thinking. How the result is going to be, we cannot predict. Depends upon a lot of factors, not just your effort, a lot of external factors. So you have to get used to taking the result as it is. I want this result to happen. That's a desire. If you have desires, forget it. You're making your life mess. Don't have any desires. Well, I shouldn't say that. Limit your desires. Think about it. I want this. Is it a desire, a need, or want? Get rid of the desires. You'll be much happier. The only work for the purpose. You only work for the purpose. Do the best and the leave rest to the God. We have been talking about this. Alcohol. If you are afraid, take a couple drinks. You will forget it. Does alcohol give us confidence to face fear or anxiety? Another debatable situation. We'll discuss this. You're adding poison to the problem. So what to do? Never ever give up. Deal with the fear. It might take a while, but you will get there. But for sure, you will succeed. Whom should you fear? Somebody asked Baba. Whom should you fear? God, the world, or myself? Baba replied, do not fear for the world or its people. Always do the right thing. Whatever your conscience accepts and tells you to do, whatever your mind and heart feel right, do that. In other words, face the opposition of the whole world in doing what is right. Do not fear for God to the slightest degree. For if you are afraid of Him, how will you be able to engender prem, love for Him? Only love for God enables and entitles you to attain the goal of the truth, which is realization. Do not fear self, for self is never independent of or apart from you. You yourself are no one other than Parameshwar. What then is the sense of fearing self, which only makes God aloof and independent of you and separate yourself from Him? And Baba also said, when the fear starts taking place in the mind, say it loudly. Fear, go away. I'm not going to yield to you. Baba is with me. Say this immediately, and your mind starts working. How am I going to deal with this? I'm not afraid of this. You will figure it out. Pretty soon, the fear will be in your control. Fear will not control you. In conclusions, fear needs to be eliminated from your life. Put an immediate stop of fear by saying that. Have confidence. I know how to deal with the fear. What is that I can and I have to do now? Simple thinking. Deal with issues now. Never ever give up. No desires, no imaginations. Baba is with me and He will help. Leave the result to Him. Don't worry, be happy. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Jai Baba Mai.
Jai Baba.
Very good, very good. So I think we'll discuss our discussion. Am you
Excellent, Ravi.
Wow.
Prasanna, you're going to moderate?
Devan garu, Devan ga. ఎప్పుడు వచ్చావురా నువ్వు?
Kiran, you go ahead.
నీ ఫోటో చూసుకున్నావా?
Okay, I forgot who's moderating.
నీ ఫోటో చూసుకున్నావా? అన్మ్యూట్ చేయి. ఆ ఫోటో చూపిద్దాం వాడికి పాపం. నీ ఫోటో చూసుకున్నావా ప్రెజెంటేషన్లో?
నా మౌగ్లీ కదేంద్రా తెక్క నుంచి చూసాను రావణ.
ఏంద్రా నువ్వు? ఇదిగో చూడు ఎవరు హీరో.
My 2 cents on fear. Everyone has fears and to different degrees. Getting exposed to it, facing them and hiding.
ఎవరు రాశారు అది?
ఏదో ఫ్లోలో వచ్చింది అది. ఫాలో అవడం కష్టం నా ప్రీచ్ చేయడం.
పెట్టిన కామెంట్స్ పెట్టాను రా.
అది కామెంట్స్ ఈజీ పెట్టడం, ఫాలో అవడం కష్టం. అది నేను కూడా ఫాలో అవుతానో లేదో డౌటే. కానీ బాగుంది రావణ. వెరీ నైస్, గుడ్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్. నువ్వు చెప్పినవేమి మనకి అందరికీ విననివే, తెలియని విషయాలు ఏం కాదు. డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ద ఫ్యూచర్, డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ద అవుట్కమ్. అది భగవద్గీతలో కృష్ణుడు కూడా చెప్పింది అదే, డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ద రిజల్ట్, యూ ఫైట్ ద వార్ అని. సో ఇట్స్ నైస్ టు బి రిమైండెడ్ అబౌట్ వాట్ యు జస్ట్ సెడ్. అది డిజైర్స్ అంటావా, ఇంక అందరికి ఉంటాయి, ఇంక వస్తుంటాయి పోతుంటాయి.